Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea. Welcome back to a match review where Chelsea beat Bayern Leverkusen 2-0 in their first of two pre-season games. We absolutely dominated, we absolutely destroyed. There are so many talking points about this, so in this video I'm going to be giving my honest thoughts and opinions and my match reaction to this game, and then we're going to be going over the stats to see if it matches up with the eye test. And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 10k before the end of 2025. Now, where do we start with this game? I know it is a pre-season game. I know it is a pre-season game, and today's game wasn't about the result, it was about the performance. Chelsea have had 20 days off since the Club World Cup final. I was quite anxious, excited, but mainly anxious about going into today's game because I didn't really know, and I don't think anyone really expected how good we were going to perform tonight. And what was really, really refreshing, good to see, was the intensity, the passing, the passage of play, the way that we dominated this game tonight. We did not look sluggish. We didn't look like we had a hangover from our 3 weeks off. We looked like we hadn't stopped playing. And I have one major concern with that, and it's not something to think about immediately, but it's something to have in the back of your mind, is how sharp we were and how long can Chelsea sustain this intensity before we burn out. We have an entire season to go ahead. I'm hoping that we don't. And if this burnout is to come, I'm hoping it comes in an international break where the players who aren't selected for international duty get a little bit of a rest, and maybe the players that do get selected can kind of take their mind off it, maybe not play as many minutes. I don't really know the workaround for it. But for tonight's game, unreal performance. We absolutely dominated Bayern Leverkusen. Enzo Maresca did a fantastic man management, minute management, however you want to call it. He gave so many people minutes. So much variety in the way that we were playing. The pressing was intense. We were playing with intensity. We absolutely dominated Bayern Leverkusen. And again, this is a pre-season. I'm not saying it, sitting here saying we're going to go win the league, but how frightening do we look going forward? Estevao. We know he is a superstar in the making. We know he is an absolute gem. But honestly, how good is Estevao? He was man of the match tonight by a country mile. He was tearing it up. Right-hand side, left-hand side, centrally. He didn't care. Give him the ball. The confidence that oozes from him is unbelievable. For 18 years old, I will quite happily sit here and say, I hold my hands up. I thought that Estevao may need time to be bedded into the Premier League, bedded into Enzo Maresca's team. I take that back. He does not need to be bedded in. He is unbelievable. He is ready. He has been working hard. He is fit, raring to go. And I'm so excited and also very grateful. We are very blessed that he plays for Chelsea, because I tell you what, it's a long day at the office for the Premier League defenders that are going to be he's coming up against, and the Champions League teams that are in that competition. It's just a long day for everyone that's not a Chelsea fan when it comes to Estevao attacking their defences, because what a player. The flicks, the tricks, the Brazilian flair, the passing range, the willingness to go get the ball, track back, try things out, take a shot on. He was unbelievable tonight. We know how good he was, but I wasn't expecting him to come out the blocks like that. I wasn't expecting him to start. I thought he might be rotated in and get some minutes in the second half, but he was fantastic, and rightfully so, the player of the match, or man of the match. No longer the superior player of the match like it was in the Club World Cup. Also, Cole Palmer. We know how good Cole Palmer is, right? I'm not going to sit here and bang on about it, but one thing I did notice, he has sort of grown in stature. He's grown into this team where it's his team now. When he wants the ball, he gets the ball. Dropping deep, on the right, centrally, on the left. No matter where he is, if he wants the ball, he commands it, he gets it. And now he has help. He has help. We're not relying on Cole Palmer. You can very clearly see that. Joao Pedro, extremely clinical. Delap offering natural number 9 runs, which is very refreshing to see. The link up he's already connected, like the connection he's already built up with Estevao. Unbelievable. It's going to be frightening, and it's so exciting for Chelsea fans and for the Chelsea players, because the way we attack and the fluidity, the freedom that we have with these players that can kind of interlink and mingle, man, it's a long day at the office for everyone else. I can tell you that for free. There's a very good performance, a very dominant performance as well. Like I said, I know it's pre-season. I don't want to bang on like we won the World Cup or anything like that. I understand that, but it was such a shock to the system to see how sharp we were, how ready we are for the Premier League. This gives me so much confidence going into this first sort of spell of games before the first international break. The next game against AC Milan. We saw all the new signings today. We saw the youngsters get an opportunity, and they all played fantastically well. Dario Asugo is unbelievable, by the way. Unbelievable. He is a carbon copy of Caicedo. Caicedo as well. That guy, we know this guy's amazing. We know he's one of the best players in the world in current form. How he wins the ball back from like physics-defining positions. It's unbelievable. It just does it time and time again. He never ceases to amaze me. Cucurella was fantastic. Jorrel Hato was fantastic when he came on. Jamie Gittens, frightening on that left-hand side. He's dribbling. Oh, mate. I can now see why Noni Madueke wanted to leave. After 45 minutes of seeing Estevao and the time that Gittens got on the pitch, yeah, he weren't getting game time. He just wasn't going to get game time this year, was he? Let's be realistic. Pedro Neto was fantastic, very direct when he came on, but we know what to expect of him. Joao Pedro, super clinical. Drops deep, gets involved in play, physical, presses after the ball, not afraid. He's got a bit of grit, bit of fire in his belly, goes after players. Love that. And clinical with his finish. It was so nonchalant. Gets the ball at the edge of the box, single touch, bosh, straight into the bottom corner. Fantastic finish. The game ends 2-0 Chelsea, and do you know what? It flattered Bayern Leverkusen because it could have been more. Could have been 3, 4, 5. The Estevao goal was good to see. It wasn't an absolute worldie. Still, in my opinion, a half chance really that he converted because, Cole Palmer had this lovely touch, flicked it over the goalkeeper, comes off the bar. Estevao, as he follows it down, left foot, bounces it into the ground to go into the top corner. It's a really good goal, and it was just so nice for him. He's already Chelsea, kissing the badge. Look how much it meant to him. It was such a good performance today. And the one thing that we are going to talk about in tomorrow's video, in the news video, is Enzo Maresca has declared that he wants a new centre-back. He said it's an absolute priority. We need a new centre-back. And I felt like our defensive line was very comfortable today. Gusto played well. Ashinplong was so good to see. He played well. Hato played well. Chalobah, everyone played well. I don't see anyone having a bad performance today. And, you could argue Liam Delap potentially, but he didn't play bad. He just didn't play as good as everyone else. But he got a fair few runs in, few touches, few chances. And I tell you what, the way that we were pinging the ball in for his runs, it was like narrow crosses or narrow long balls, wider options. He was in the right place at the right time. Palmer is going to have a field day because he has people that can finish off these chances that he can create. He gets that ball in that half space, mate, and he can just make anything happen. Estevao's happy going across the left, the right, centre. He doesn't mind. Joao Pedro could do the same. Jamie Gittens is frightening at close control. We absolutely dominated today's game. It was just so nice to see. I have missed seeing Chelsea play, and it's only been 20 days. Like I said, the only thing, and it's something to keep at the back of your head for right now, is can Chelsea sustain this intensity in the way that we're playing for the entire season, basing it on the fact we only had 3 weeks off. That's my only concern to keep right here, right now. And it's not to overshadow this amazing performance, but they are my thoughts and opinions. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on the game down below, but let's go into the match stats and see if it reflects what we saw in the eye test. So the game ends Chelsea 2, Leverkusen 0. Estevao on the 18th minute, Joao Pedro with pretty much the last kick of the game. And if we go down and see the top stats, we have 70% possession, which pretty much sums up how this game went. 24 total shots, 9 on target, 4 big chances. Estevao with the player of the match, 8.3 rating. A thoroughly deserved. Could have even been more. If I'm being honest, he was outstanding. And I'm not saying that he's going to consistently do this full season. I really hope he does because, like I said, it's a long day for everyone else who isn't a Chelsea fan or a Chelsea player coming up against Estevao. But let's take a look at the events. We had a lot of yellow cards today and a few questionable decisions from the referee. Gave a few free kicks against Chelsea that Caicedo won the ball from an impossible angle. But hey, Chalobah getting booked, Andrich getting booked, Estevao scoring, and then Kwanzaa with a really naughty challenge on Cole Palmer in the 26th minute. It didn't really look like a nice pre-season challenge, and Palmer was not happy about it at all. And then at halftime, loads of rotations. Hato, Sugo, Pedro Neto coming on, Chalobah coming off for Tosin, who I think had a very good game as well. Obviously, Bayern Leverkusen obviously made their changes. Joao Pedro comes on, Gittens comes on the 64th minute, Reece James comes on, plays very well. Raksakci came on, he played very well. Anselmino, it was very good to see him getting some minutes. Again, he played well. And Antwi, I think he played very well as everyone else. And then Joao Pedro scores in the last kick of the game with a very nonchalant edge-of-the-box finish. That guy can't stop scoring it, and I absolutely here for it. Now, if we look at the player ratings for this game, we'll start with Jorgensen with a 7.8. I think that's about fair. He didn't have much to do. He made a few saves from direct free kicks, but it was a normal day at the office for him. But one thing I will say is how confident he is and how good he is on the ball. Such a stark difference from Robert Sanchez. I will always say Sanchez is improving, but we know his distribution is poor. Jorgensen's, it's just such a stark contrast. And it's so nice to have full faith in Jorgensen that if he's looking like he gets in trouble, he'll get himself out of it. He'll get himself out of it, no problem, and I feel very confident with him on the ball in the sticks. I absolutely love to see it. But yeah, very boring game for him. He didn't really have much to do. Gusto with a 7.3. I would agree. I think he was fantastic today going forward and defensively. It's so nice to see Gusto playing well under Enzo Maresca, because it's been such a long time where we've seen him put in really poor performances. But looking like we're getting the best out of Malo Gusto now under Enzo Maresca. It seems like it's clicked for him. Maybe they've had conversations over the last few months or whatever, but it's really starting to show. Action with a 7.2. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he was, again, fantastic. He is displaying a very top tier, top level performances every time he gets an opportunity at centre back, right back, DM. He doesn't care. He will play there, and he plays it very, very well. Chalobah with a 6.8. Maybe the booking brings it down. I don't really know. I would have said 6.8 is probably a little low, but a 7 to 7.2. I think he was very equal with the rest of the back line. I'm not saying he was outstanding, but I feel like he had a very good game in terms of the defensive line, at least me personally. So maybe the booking brings it down a little. Cucurella was 7.3. He was an absolute menace in that first half. Up and down, inverting, going out wide. Bayer Leverkusen didn't know what to do with him when we were on the attack. The way that Cucurella was moving and inverting and opening the space up, they couldn't mark anyone in the midfield. They couldn't mark Palmer. He was then free on the half turn, spraying the balls out to the right for Estevao. He was just a standard Cucurella performance, but it baffled Bayer Leverkusen. Now, when you move on to Caicedo and Santos, Caicedo only got a half of football, so I'm assuming that contributed to his 6.8. Santos with a 6.6. I really disagree with these. They should have been a lot higher. They should have been at least 7.5, 7.8, maybe even touching. Yeah, I'd say 7.8 is a maximum. These guys were fantastic. They were solid. Absolutely solid in that midfield. They won everything. Gave a few fouls away, admittedly, but they were solid. Unreal. Like that's such a solid partnership. I'd be more than happy to see that more frequently. And when Asugo came on, unbelievable. Like for Caicedo, a carbon copy, and he was unreal today. So I would personally give them ratings a little bit higher, if I'm going to be honest. Estevao with the man of the match performance, he was fantastic. We spoke about him in sort of my thoughts and opinions part right at the start. He was unreal. He was everywhere. Left, right, down the middle, spraying balls around, confidence, joga bonita, the flair. Unreal today. Thoroughly deserved. Cole Palmer with 7.3. He was fantastic. Cole Palmer was just unreal. And it's because he had the freedom. Like I said earlier in the video, this is his team now. When he wants the ball, he can get the ball. He demands it, he gets it. Whether it's deep, left, right, centrally, doesn't matter. Out wide, pick the ball up, he'll create something and make something happen. And with who he now has around him, mate, it's such an exciting time to be a Chelsea fan. I'll tell you that for nothing. Tyreek George, 6.4. I think it's probably a bit low, but at the same time, I don't think he had an amazing game. I think he played well, but I don't think he had an outstanding game. I'd have probably given him like a 6.8, if I'm being honest. I don't think it was much lower than a 7, because we, as a team and as a unit, we just played very, very well. I know he had 64 minutes. Maybe that goes against him. I'm not entirely sure, but Jamie Gittens was frightening. Night and day difference in today's match for sure, but I wouldn't have put George at a 6.4 personally, but that's just me. And then you've got Liam Delap with a 6.4. Again, Joao Pedro gets the goal. Joao Pedro was fantastic. Again, night and day difference in terms of profile and what they offer this team. Delap was getting in behind and trying to be that target man. Joao Pedro was just getting stuck in, getting in and amongst it. And they are very different players for sure. But 6.4 for Delap. He had a few chances, made a few good runs. It wasn't his best game. If he'd have scored, I think it would have gone up. But do you know what? 6.4, I probably would push it to a 6.6. I'm just splitting hairs over 0.2, but that's relatively fair. And that's my opinions about the starting lineup and their player ratings. So those are my thoughts and opinions on Chelsea 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0, our first of 2 pre-season games. We have AC Milan in just a couple days, a very fast turnaround before the start of the Premier League season. Do you agree with my analysis? Do you agree with the stats? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you have watched this video all the way to the end, firstly, you're a real one, and I mean that. You're a real one. But secondly, there'll be a thumbnail appears on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure to click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.